Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about the season premiere of season 6 of Once Upon a Time. This is a long running show already, I guess, right? In its 6th season already. Who knew it would last this long? And I'm gonna straight up admit this that if you've been checking out some of my videos, I've done a few Once Upon a Time episode reviews, and I know I did a full season review of the last season, season 5, of my thoughts on that. And, I don't think the show hasn't been as strong as it was back in season 1. I think season 1 is a really well crafted season of a TV show, and I would have been fully happy if they had just ended it at season 1, because after season 1, you can kind of feel they were really dragging the show afterwards. Although they started to find a way to kind of keep things fresh each season by starting a new story and ending it halfway through, and then by splitting the seasons into two halves. You have the first story arc in the first half of the season, and you have the second story arc in the second half of the season, right? Because they started doing that at the beginning of season 3. Season 3, they had the Neverland story arc, and I guess they ended it there, right, in the first half. And then they had, I think, the Wizard of Oz half of the season, and then the season 4 started off with the Frozen storyline, and ended with the I'm forgetting it was the villain storyline where they had Maleficent, Cruella de Vil, and Ursula from The Little Mermaid all there as the main villains. And then season 5, which we had last year, had a little bit of Brave in there in the beginning, and I forgot, I guess they went to another land where Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll were. I'm forgetting everything that happened now in season 5, but the first half of the season dealt with Emma's dark swan story arc, which was a fine season. I thought it was okay, just like the other previous 4 seasons. But the first season has still been the best to me, and so coming into this one yesterday, I was very not too sure about how this was going to play out, but something was really exciting me about this season when I heard that Aladdin and Jafar were going to get into the mix. Jafar was played on Once Upon a Time, played by Naveen Andrews from Lost. If you remember, he played Sayid on Lost, and he played Jafar in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, the spin-off series, which only lasted 13 episodes. And that was one of the highlights of that spin-off for me, was Jafar, because I loved the Disney film Aladdin, and, obviously because this show uses a lot of Disney influence, I was very curious at how they'll handle Jafar. And when I found out they got Oded Fur to play Jafar instead of Naveen Andrews, who was busy doing the Netflix series Sense8, I was very excited still, because he's such a great actor too. I knew him from the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser. He played, I forgot his character's name, but he was the guy who guarded the mummy's tomb, I guess, in the first 2 Mummy films. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can totally see this. Right away when I saw the clip and I saw who was playing Jafar, I was like sold right off. And I like the way they are portraying Aladdin in this. We got to see that clip again in this, right in the beginning of this episode. And I got to tell you, I like where they're bringing these characters. And something that people noticed, there was a red bird in the episode, and I didn't catch it right away, but people pointed out Iago. Even though it wasn't a parrot, the bird was still red, and that's a theory that's out there right now, that this bird might be Once Upon a Time's version of Iago that was spying on Emma and all those guys. So maybe Jafar, we are going to see him in the present day, it sounds like. But I think we're going to get more Aladdin, because Jasmine was also seen in the previews in some clips and stuff. So I'm looking forward to more Aladdin, Jafar, Jasmine, and whatever other Aladdin characters they give us. I think that's such a rich Disney film. I love it. It's my all-time favorite, right up there with The Lion King. So I can't wait to see how they play with those characters. Something else that I really enjoyed from the episode was the Rumple and Belle moments too. Rumple went inside Belle's dream, I guess, her state of mind while she's heavily asleep in this realm, deep sleep. And there's this guy there who leads Rumpel through her dream, and Rumpel's trying to reconnect with Belle to wake her up. And he does, sort of. He reminds her, hey, look, remember me? This is all a dream. And I really like the moment when they're both dancing together, Rumpel and Belle, because they play the Beauty and the Beast theme from the animated film. That classic, the one that Celine Dion even sings. They play that score in the background, which is a really nice feeling. I had to tweet out the picture of the animated movie right after because it's moments like that I really love, because those are the Easter eggs for the fans of the animated Disney classics that they know fans like me will probably love a little bit more when they pay homage to that stuff. So that moment I really like, and I really thought it was interesting that this character in Belle's dream, this wise wizard or whatever he was in fact I guess the soul of their son, but grown up. And now it showed Rumpel like, hey, your original son didn't like you. Now this son doesn't seem to trust you either. So you better start changing your ways. And I think this will open Rumpel's eyes to change his ways and try to be a better person. I think he doesn't want to do the same mistakes that he did with Neil, with Bellfire. So it's going to be great, I think, this season to finally see him finally change, which this should have been a change that he should have accepted a long time ago. But he kept going back to the darkness. Hopefully this will make him want to be a better person and stay that way. We'll see. Because I think Rumpel is one of the best characters still on this show. I just want to see him, once he learns something, stay that way, man. Don't go back to your evil ways, because then it's drama for the sake of drama, and I hate when TV shows do that. I will say I also enjoy the stuff with Emma. We start seeing her shaking, and clearly this is something that's paralleling with what's going on with Aladdin in the beginning. Something is going on with the Saviour. They need their ultimate villain. Some people are probably going to think it's Jafar, because Jafar is, they're hinting at that he is here with the red bird. But I think it's actually going to be the evil queen from Snow White. Regina, the evil Regina, though, the clone, whatever she is. I think it's going to be her. To me, that makes the most sense. In the beginning, when the show started, it's always been Regina against Emma, and I still think it's going to be Regina against Emma, but the evil Regina, now that the good part and the bad part are split apart. I think that's going to be Emma's ultimate nemesis. So we might see. I could be wrong. Sometimes I am, and I'm very curious to see how that's all going to play out for this season. One thing that I didn't care much for was the Zelina and Regina storyline, where now they're having a sister breakout thing after they made up last season of all that drama that went on. I feel like this is just a way to get Zelina to do something in this season. And what better way than having family drama? Like, I get it, it's a drama show, but I feel like this is unnecessary. I feel like this is something that shouldn't be an issue for them. And I feel like the writers just need something for Zelina to do because, well, she's a series regular. I personally, if I was the writers of the show, I would just write Zelina off. I don't think they need her. But I like the character. I liked her better when she was evil. That's something I also get a little annoyed by. I hate that they're redeeming too many of these villains. I liked Hades last season because he stayed the villain all the way through. But I think no more redeeming villains. And Zelina should have been one of those villains to not be redeemed. I liked her better when she was evil, and now she's just annoying. So I am going to say that I did really enjoy this season premiere. This is giving me a lot of promise. I was actually really excited about this episode all the way through. I thought it was a really interesting episode, except for the Zelina Regina parts, like I mentioned. But other than that, I think it was a really strong episode, and I am totally looking forward to seeing how the rest of this season plays out. They already have a great setup for me. I'm already hooked. I can already feel this might be my favorite season since the first season. So I'm hoping for the best because I really want to love this show. Like I did when I first watched season 1. It was a series that every episode got better and better, leading towards the final episode of that season. I want this season to be the same. I'm hooked. Let's do it. And with that being said, if you are a fan of Once Upon a Time, let me know in the comments section below. I'll put a couple of links in the description box to, my Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. And until next time, guys and girls, take care.